What's up, people? It's your boy LHG back with another Slap Yourself.
Oh my God! Stupid!
Now, y'all know what's been going on. Y'all know we got this back and forth going on. I started it, yes I did. But you know what? I had to do what I had to do when I had to do what I had to do. That's right, I had to do it. Now let's get it in. So, it's funny when you listen to people and you can tell that people don't listen. All right? Hiphopgamer, you did not listen to the video that I put up. I felt myself confused. I'm like, did I say what he said I said when he said that I said what I said when he said it? Did I? No, I didn't say half the stuff that he regurgitated. So for that, slap yourself. So anyway, you start off and you say that I claimed that you made a contradiction when you said the Wii U can't do what the PlayStation and Xbox One can do. I had to go back and watch my own video just to see if I said what you said I said. And you know what? I didn't say that. So slap yourself. Look, this is what I said. I said you start off saying that the Wii U is not capable of realizing the vision of third-party consoles or third-party developers. And I say there may be some truth to that, but if the same third party who says that turns around and put the game that they just claimed is too powerful for the Wii U on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, there lies in that a contradiction. Can you not see that, Hiphopgamer? Can you not see that that is a true bona fide contradiction? If you tell me the vision that you have for a game is not able to be realized on this system because it's too weak, and then you port the game or put the game on an even weaker system, that is a contradiction. Slap yourself! You know what? Sometimes this industry make me want to break my own leg, rip it off, and go play baseball with it. Because it literally makes you crazy like that. It literally makes you want to do crazy stuff. Because it just makes no sense. But let's keep this thing going. So, you already starting off misquoting me. But really what you did was recreate what I said to fit into your agenda, into your logic, into your point of view, so that you can counter it. You didn't take what I said for what I said, the purity of what I said. You took it and you recreated to fit your own logic or your own feeling or your own take with the Wii U and third party. You believe the Wii U is weak. That is your opinion. You have the right to have that. You believe it's not capable. That is your opinion. You have the right to have that. But as a journalist, you have the responsibility to prove that. Now, this is what you call proving it. You bring on a third party and you ask him the question, what do you plan on doing with the Wii U? Do you plan on supporting the Wii U with your next project? And of course Jim turns and says, oh, we have no plans at this time. See, and before he can move on, Hip Hop, you already in the camera, looking with a smile on your face, eyes lit up when you heard that, and you make a snicker. You literally laugh. And then you look at me and say, I call you a fanboy, and you take that like I'm not being legit. Slap yourself.
Oh my God!
Dude, you really exposed yourself right there, man. Dude, you exposed yourself. And the reason I'm laughing is because I don't even use the word expose. I think that's the lamest word in the gaming, this gaming community. I get tired of hearing that word, but here I am using it. I can't find nothing else to use, man. That's crazy. But anyway, so let's keep this thing going, man. So Jim begins to speak even more. And he's talking about what they're trying to do with the 8th generation, you know, referring to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Yeah, he's talking about that, and he's talking about what they're trying to do, and he says this about the Wii U. He says the Wii U is key, just different enough. Now that's a funny way of saying something. But hip hop doesn't even catch that. It's just different enough, you know, from the tools and what we're trying to do and what we're trying to realize is just different enough that it makes the transition a little hard. So hip hop, and he's trying to explain that, and he's finna say something, and hip hop chimes in and says, you know, what you're trying to do, and because it's not powerful enough, it's gonna make the transition a great downgrade. So Jim just says yes. Now hip hop basically answered the question for him. But see, if it stayed there, it might have would have worked. It might have would have came across as this is legit. But he don't stop there, people. He goes and he begins to talk about, you know, now when we talk about the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 and going to the Wii U from there, it gets even more complicated. Wait a minute. Could y'all scratch y'all head and all in unison say, slap yourself? What you mean? Huh? It's just different enough from the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, but when it comes from the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, it's even more complicated, it's even more difficult. And before he can even explain himself, before he even tries to explain what he meant, he just cuts that conversation off and jumps back to talking about the 8th generation. Slap yourself, man. I'm sitting like, what is this? He blew so much smoke in your face, Hiphopgamer. He blew so much smoke in your nostril. You inhaled it and you blew it right back out, man. You was high at this moment. You was high in a cloud, missing all the fluff that he was giving you, missing all the misdirections that he was giving you, missing all the facts that he wasn't even answering your question. The whole thing is, I don't want to optimize. I haven't got a team for that. I haven't thought about getting a team for that. Had they came out earlier, we might have had a team for that, but we don't have a team for right now, and we're not going to do it. So I'm just going to fluff you around with this whole bunch of misdirection that doesn't make any kind of sense because simply I don't have a team for that, and we don't plan on putting one together for that. That was the legit reason. But you missed all that, Hiphopgamer. And you the journalist. Now, you called yourself trying to shut me down. I'm killing everything that you said, bro. I'm going point by point with what you showed me, and I'm giving it to you. I'm doing like Loaded Lux. I'm giving you this work. I'm giving you this work, bro. And it ain't out of hate. It ain't out of trying to be enemies, because I respect everything you do. You are a champion for gaming. You are a great ambassador for gaming, but you also are a journalist. And there are certain things you're supposed to do. There are certain questions you're supposed to ask. There are certain things you're supposed to catch that these people are saying that would tweak your ears to say, something don't match with what you just said. But you don't do that, bro. You don't do that. So let's keep this thing going, shall we? Slap yourself. Now, at this point in the interview, the interviewer becomes the interviewed. I mean, hip hop literally stands up off the seat of the interviewer, goes into the computer screen, moves Jim Boone out his seat, sits down, and starts answering his own question. And that's really what happened. Outside of him going through the computer, he literally starts answering the question as if he's the developer. And we all know hip-hop, you're not a developer. You didn't design none of these systems. You didn't design the PlayStation 4. You didn't design the Xbox One. You didn't design the Wii U. So if you didn't design them, you don't know the ins and the outs of those systems. You don't know if any developer is telling you the truth or lying at any given time. All you can do is hope and believe they're being honest. So how do you know Jim was telling you the truth? How do you know any other developer that comes at you is telling you the truth? You don't. But that's your opinion, and that's what you like to believe, so you run with it. But there's plethora of other developers who have came out and said that a lot of what these third-party companies are saying is not true. You got Shinning. You didn't never interview them. You never went and seek them for the truth. Okay, I'm hearing these people say this system can only do this. What is your take? Because I heard that you said that's not true. Why do you say that? That's a journalist. That's what a journalist do. But you ain't gonna interview that guy. Why? Because he ain't saying what you want to hear. You ain't gonna interview with all these other ones that came out at the same time. You're not gonna go inquire with Crytek why Crysis 3 that was running on the Wii U was shelved. Let's be real here. That's what I mean by dotting your I's and crossing your T's. Now, if I didn't think you was a cool dude, if I didn't think you might hear what a person is saying, I wouldn't be saying nothing about it. I just say, man, I just wash it off that you like all these other journalists in this game. I just chop it up. You a lost cause. But I choose to have this dialogue with you. Like I said, so let's keep this thing going. Slap yourself. Now, the question I posed to you that you never dealt with was, how many times can third party change their reason for not supporting the system before it raises an eyebrow, before it becomes suspicious? You say the system is too weak. If the system is too weak and you're focusing on next generation, then that game that you're focusing on should not come to the PlayStation 3 nor the Xbox 360, because that is a contradiction. Because the Wii U is more powerful than those systems. Okay, so we proved that to be a contradiction. No matter how that man blew smoke in your face, it's a contradiction. Now, the next thing comes, because it was multiple third party, they had multiple excuses. The next one is Ubisoft again, and I think other folks, EA, some other folks have said this, when the install base improves, we'll support the system. Okay, well, you have the PlayStation 4 with 10 million, you have the Wii U with 7 million, you have the Xbox with 5 to 6 million. So, if that's the case, if you're unwilling to support the Wii U, shouldn't you be unwilling to support the Xbox One? Based off what you said. Okay, that's a contradiction. No matter how you want to spin it, it's a contradiction. All right, so the new thing, Ubisoft again, is we don't support mature games. And they're not releasing any more mature games on the Wii U. Okay, at this point you take it and you go back to the Wii to make your point. And I'm like, no, pause. We're not talking about the Wii, brother. We're talking about the Wii U. So the only data that is factored in, the only data that is relevant to this and what Ubisoft said is the Wii U sales of their games. If you're pulling the plug on the Wii U and you're basing your data off of the Wii U, you can't factor in the Wii to counter the Wii U data. Hiphopgamer, come on, bro, for real. So the data says this. A mature game was the #1 selling game released on the Nintendo Wii U from Ubisoft. It was a mature game by the name of Zombie U, which sold 3-1 to the game Just Dance that you said we love to buy. That is a contradiction. That is a false statement. Slap yourself! Now, yeah, it was a false statement, man, real talk. But anyway, so at this point, there's been so many misquotes by you of me that there's no point in me trying to cover all of them. So I'm gonna skip over some stuff. But here you start bragging about all the games you have and how you own everything and how you can school me and how you more hardcore than me and all this different stuff. And I'm sitting here like, who cares? It's a career for you, Hiphopgamer. Let's understand something, bro. I understand that this is your career. This is how you make money. This is how you make a living. This ain't how I make a living. I don't monetize these videos. Half the time I'm not even on YouTube. I'm not even consistent with this. Why? Because this is a hobby. But at the same time, I own multiple consoles. I don't just own Nintendo consoles. Matter of fact, I've said multiple times, many times, that the PlayStation 3 was my favorite console of the 7th generation. Yes, a Nintendo fan said that, bro. What does that mean? It means absolutely nothing. It is totally irrelevant to what the conversation and what we're talking about here. We're talking about a journalist dotting his I's, crossing his T's, doing the proper research, not leaning to his own understanding that is lacking in a lot of these areas to form an opinion, to present to people. You are misguiding folks with your misdirected information when you don't do your proper due diligence and research when you are talking about any topic that you're talking about. If you're claiming to be a journalist, that's what I'm saying. Everything else is irrelevant. Like I said, I am careful about what I say to you because I respect you. I understand that this is how you make your bread and butter, and I don't want to mess that up. Probably can't mess that up. My platform ain't big enough. So I come at you, and I come at you real. I come at you hard, but I come at you with respect. See what I'm saying? But we gonna continue. So all that ranting about your systems and games and you pulling up all these games, I can do the same thing, bro. That means nothing at all. So with that being said, now you finna shut me down. I'm down to the end. You finna shut me down. And what you gonna use to shut me down is Call of Duty? Slap yourself! Bro, what was that? I mean, real talk, bro. What was that? First of all, let's be real. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the scenario that you set up and twist it at the end, and I'm gonna untwist it and leave it straight so the truth can be seen. Now, you said the Wii U, a system that's supposed to be more powerful than a 7-8-year-old system 360, has Black Ops 2 on it. So with this understanding, you are expecting Black Ops 2 to perform better on the Wii U than the 360, with the understanding that the Wii U is supposedly more stronger. Okay, we both agree with that. So this person goes and buys the game, takes it home, and find out that it is not performing better on the Wii U than the 360. Now, this is where you twist it. You twist it and make it be that the Wii U is not up to par with the 7-8-year-old system. But that's not the case. This is the case, Hiphopgamer. The Black Ops 2 was ported over from the 360 to the Wii U, not fully optimized, not fully taking advantage of the Wii U, not fully utilizing the Wii U. And if you did your research, if you dot your I's and cross your T's, you will find out that it was only using one core of the processor. All this information is out there. So it was a lazy port that did not take advantage of the Wii U. So of course, if you put more attention on the Xbox 360 version over the Wii U version, and you make the Xbox 360 version shine, and you just take that game and port it over and not even fully optimize the game to run on the Wii U right, which one is gonna look better? It's just like what Torrance Davis was trying to show you when you kept on screaming that NBA 2K14 looked better on the PS4 because the PS4 is more powerful than the PC, or on par. And Torrance is like, hip hop, the game looks better on the PlayStation 4 because the developers made it look better on the PlayStation 4. Not because the PlayStation 4 is more powerful than the PC, it's because the developers chose to take more time on the PlayStation 4 version. Slap yourself. And that's the same situation going on here, bro. If a person chooses to take more time on the 360 version, or more time on the PlayStation 4 version, or the PlayStation 3 version, or the Xbox One version, and chooses not to spend that time on the Wii U version, one thing is gonna happen: you're not gonna get a good experience, you're not gonna get the best foot forward from a Wii U system because it's not being fully used. And secondly, anything that you spent more time on is gonna look better. So it's like me and you walking into Burger King, and we order the same meal, a double Whopper, and we add bacon on it and cheese and all these different trimmings, and we pay our money, $7.99 plus tax or whatever it costs. And then when we get our bag or we get our tray of food, we sit down and we unwrap our food, and I notice that my burger doesn't look like your burger. Your burger has 2 patties, cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, and bacon. Your fries is filled up and your soda is filled up. And I open up and unwrap my burger, and I'm missing a patty, I'm missing cheese, I'm missing the lettuce, my fries is not full, my soda is halfway filled. Is that my fault? Did I make the sandwich? Did I make the sandwich? Did I cook up this meal, or did a person behind the counter who was responsible for delivering the same experience or a par experience flub up? That's what happened, Hiphopgamer. That's what happened, bro. And that's why we don't buy these games, because I own multiple consoles. If you're going to give me a lesser experience on a better system, I'm still going to buy this game on another system that might not be as powerful because the experience is better there. If I own a PlayStation 3 and I know this game is going to be better on the PlayStation 3 because the developers took more time on that and they're cutting corners on the Wii U version, I'm going to buy the PlayStation 3 version. Why? Because I value my dollar. I'm not going to spend my dollar on anything that is not going to give me the full value of my dollar. That's just common sense, bro. That ain't got nothing to do with the Wii U. The fans are not going to buy crap. If Burger King did me like that and they kept doing you good, you're going to go back to Burger King. But I'm not going back to Burger King. Why? Because they ripped me off.
Slap yourself. Oh my God. Stupid.
Now, with that being said, I'm finna bring this to an end. This has already went longer than I wanted it to go, almost close to 20-something minutes. But let me say this and I'm finna get out of here. Hip Hop, you did not address anything that I said in my response video, my initial one. You pretty much just changed it to fit the dialogue that you wanted to come down to counter. You rearranged it to fit what you wanted to say. And that ain't cool. Secondly, if you're gonna be the journalist that you claiming you are, dot your I's and cross your T's, man. Do the proper research. I'm not saying you don't do research, but you only stay on one side of it. You know what I'm saying? There are people that are saying stuff that counters and contradict what the dude that you sat in that interview and said. And they are both developers. Interview both. And secondly, bro, let's be real. I just gave you that work. I gave you that work, and I know I'm not low to looks, but I gave you that work. Yes, I did. And I know you're going to try to respond, but guess what? This is it. I said everything I needed to say, and I'm done with it. You can either take it and add it to and filter it through your thoughts and be honest, or you can just continue down the path you're dealing. You know what I'm saying? It's your world, bro. We still cool. You still my boy. You know what I'm saying? Still love here. Still respect there. But I just gave you that work, dog. But with that being said, I got this to say. Slap yourself!